Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I'm Dre, man, avid Man United fan. I'll be your host for today. Bit of a depleted squad, probably because of carnival celebrations. But we go rounds here. We got Marley Ma.
Moneyball here, Man United supporter, ripping Bayern Munich today. Yes, you do raise a good point. Yesterday was Carnival. Sunday went to the Sunday one for the first time. It's good, man. Yeah. Sunday's one's very much more palatable for us adults. It was done by
Mm,
6 p.m. I was in White City House by 7:30. I was in bed by
yeah.
10. Fantastic night. Great.
And
Good.
it makes sense anyway, because as we're getting older, you still
Mm,
want to enjoy your bank holiday. So to go carnival on
mm,
a Sunday, I mean Monday, then you got to work the next day. It's dead.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. So it's like good vibes in and out.
Mm.
In and out, bro. Perfect for me. Pause.
Yeah. Last but not least, Della,
Del Estrada, transfer window is not yet closed, but yeah, I'm still a free agent.
still a free agent. We may potentially have Joey joining us a little bit later on, fingers crossed. Maybe Strives as well. Who knows where they are
Hmm.
at this moment in time? Maybe trying to recover from this bank holiday weekend. But yeah, you can find us on all major platforms: X, Insta, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, YouTube, you name it, we're there. All right, let's get into it. It was a fast and ferocious weekend of football. I think only two right to start with the early kickoff, which was Brighton 2, Man United 1. Pedro scores the 95th minute winner after Xerxes prevents Garnacho scoring. Marley Ma, how do you feel after that game, man?
Um, Mixed feelings, really. To be fair,
Mm,
I'll be honest, because I mean, on the, I mean, let's start with what I think of the positives in the game. I think
yeah.
um we played better than we have in recent times, particularly last season. I think our possession wise, I think we were pretty well in possession. And it was somewhat more purposeful passes than I've probably seen in previous seasons as well. So they seem to be some kind of idea
Mm,
into how they were developing their play. Um, so yeah, I mean, the game overall was just such an unlucky game, and it's real synonymous with how our luck has been going as of recent with obviously with the injuries from last season. And
yeah.
obviously we've started with first L of the season in our second game, which isn't
Mm,
which isn't particularly great. So last week I had us down as righting the wrongs and coming out with a comfortable win.
yeah.
Um and Brighton were Brighton. They seem to be one of our bogey teams at the minute. We just can't seem to get results against them, which is strange. But overall, positives. I think we played all right. So I think if we can be consistent with that style of play, we just need to start putting away our chances. I think that is where it's a massive issue for Manchester United
Hmm.
right at the minute. We're struggling to put away chances. I think the Bruno up top experiment. I think it works against teams when they're not expecting it. But I think it's not a tactic we can do back to back weeks because yeah, Bruno is not a striker. Let's be honest. And I think we're taking away to the benefit of what Bruno it has to offer to a team when he is playing a false nine because he
Yeah.
doesn't get the ball as much. He hasn't got the ability to try and dictate the tempo of the game a little bit like from up top. So that's a problem. Um, and yeah, Rashford's just out of form as well, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is out of form. Like I'm on record saying that I think he's gonna have a good season. Um, that can still become true. But based on yesterday and the first game of the season as well, I think he is still lacking like bags and bags of confidence, man. I don't know what it is with him.
It's like zero
Um,
zero shots in two games because obviously the sort of one way he headed it and it went in was offside. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's mad.
crazy.
And it's like his football intelligence. Like obviously people question it and people have been questioning it
Oh
um
wow.
for some time. And I must say I had like rose tinted lenses on Well, I couldn't. I just thought it was like hate and disgust for all things Manchester United. But I'll be honest, like,
Does that include me as well?
yeah,
'Cause,
you're included. You're
thank
included.
you. No, as in because you think I hate United, but eventually you start to see things and you're like, yeah.
Oh no,
Mm.
you do hate United, but not
I used to like Rashford as well, bro.
Yeah.
in that moment. In that moment, you're right. Is football intelligence? The amount of times he was offside, yeah, and it's like very
Crazy.
like it's laziness as well. Like it's just like, bruv, you know what you're supposed to do. You're running like off the last man on the line, and it's like you're not looking. You're not looking across the line. You're just darting forward. Yeah, he's not playing particularly well right now, and I hope that, to be honest, probably the best thing for him right now is he needs to come out of the team and put Garnacho in, because Garnacho's come in.
Yeah.
The first game, obviously, he missed the sit-out, but this game against Brighton, he probably should have scored if not for Xerxes. So he's already offering way more than Rashford has to offer across the 90 minutes. So yeah, man, positives and negatives take from the game. The next game is obviously against Liverpool, which is going to be a tough game. But for some reason, I think we will probably play a lot better in that game as well. But we're always up for the big games for some reason.
Do you think Xerxes will start?
I think so, yeah, because Mount came off injured. I don't know if
Yeah, injured again, man, which is crazy, really.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was for obviously it wasn't for tactical reasons, so he came off. So Xerxes will probably start. I do like the look of him in terms of like his link up play looks pretty decent, and he seems to have somewhat football intelligence on the pitch as well. So I mean, we should be in a good shape for Liverpool. I'm hoping obviously we get the Ugarte deal through the door.
Yeah, that looks like it'll be finalized after McTominay goes Napoli.
Yeah, which seems like it's like 95% done, which is good. Casemiro,
Why did Napoli even want him? Why does Conte even want him?
I have no idea. Have you seen it? There's one clip of like I sent it to my boy Matty, of Lukaku and McTominay doing one-touch football, bruv.
Oh shit!
for Napoli. So yes, I don't know that these foreign guys, like I get they want these guys, bruv. They want these English and Scottish guys, bruv. I have no idea why, but yeah.
I think Scotty's like a workhorse though, man. In that league, I think he can work anyway.
Yeah,
you kind of know what you get with Scott. I think it's like we said before, like a 7 out of 10 kind of every performance, which is what you kind of need.
Yeah.
So I think he's like nearly 25 mil, 25, 30 mil, which is not bad.
Yeah, which is it's somewhat of a good return for a guy. He's 27 years old. I personally, I wouldn't ever expect to get more than 30 for McTominay. As many goals as he does score and being in Scottish international, I still think he's pretty mediocre. In his play. So I mean, it's another good deal for both parties. Hopefully, he goes there and does well. And hopefully we can get this. You got to get guy in and free us from the burden that is Casemiro in midfield, bruv. Because mate, he had another one of them games where I don't understand how people get that slow.
Yeah,
age, innit?
Bruv.
But has he ever been fast? Bear in mind, he probably played in La Liga as well, so it's a bit slower.
But yeah, but I don't know what it is. I just don't understand how human beings are that slow. Like, do you know what I mean?
I tried to play football the other day, man. My speed has gone drastically, man. So yeah, it happens, bro. Yeah, it can happen in 1 year.
Welcome, Joey. You're back.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. I had to go get my Liverpool kit, my fresh Liverpool kit. No, I'm joking.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. The only thing I would say, obviously, you touched on it before I could mention it, but Rashford, I think, is going to be one of those seasons. Is he good enough for Man United? I think if he has another stinker, I think he'd be the next out. Sancho,
is he playing bad, Rashford? Or
he's playing. No, he's playing all right. He looks like I think Marley Moore said it before. He looks more like interested. He looks fitter. But again, it's like it's going down to technical ability and just doing the basics, like trying to keep on sides. And like sometimes when he does his runs, I'll be honest, I've got no faith in him. Just like almost like running into a brick wall. I don't think we get any productivity out of the guy so far.
It feels very, very like everything he does. This feels like you're expecting it. Like, so if I'm expecting it, like surely the defenders are expecting it. Like
Yeah.
you look at guys like Vinny, who's like very, very much so like, bruv, take on guys is solid. You don't expect what he's gonna do. So it's hard to read. But with Rashford, everything just feels like so A and B. Like it's very, very basic in his play.
I think
and
he
that's
needs more
issue.
coaching. It feels like he's not leveled up since he first came onto the scene.
Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
been
but
saying that
but
for a long
apparently
time,
he's
man.
had but apparently he's had more coaching from Rude. He's done
Yeah,
extra
but
sessions.
it's only been like a month or two, innit?
Yeah, I know. It's only been a
What's
month
that?
or two. But Marley Ma as well. Like, let's move away from Rashford. What did you think of, obviously, the goals overall? So if we start with Brighton's first.
I mean, another cutback goal. It seems to be somewhat of our Achilles heel. But that goal for me was preventable. I think Maguire's got to do better. He's got to do better from the ball coming in. And then he's got to do better when the ball's across box as well. Like I think he is. He had a fantastic game in the first game of the season, but I think against Brighton you saw the flaws in his game and why a lot of fans have been saying we need to get him replaced pretty quickly, because De Ligt came on the pitch, and as soon as De Ligt came on, he was front-footed, like in terms of like his challenge. And there was one ball that was crossed the centre cross, very similar to the ball that Maguire didn't deal with, and De Ligt, it was out, it was cleared, bro,
Cleared it out.
cleared, bruv. So I think it would have been tough for Maguire to get dropped after the first game performance, because he actually played pretty decent. But I think after the second game, I think De Ligt can come in now without anyone raising any questions on him. But also, like, not even just to get on Maguire, pause. The butcher, Lisandro Martinez, he needs to do better as well, man. The first two games he's been playing, he does this thing which when it works, obviously it looks great. And I used to do it as a centre back as well. Like you try and beat the ball. So before the attacker gets it, you try and get in front of it. When it doesn't work, bruv, you're in no man's land, bruv. And he keeps on doing it. And I think he's done it successfully once, but I think I've seen that 5 times, 6 times where he hasn't done it right. And particularly in the last game he played, Maguire was up against, I think it was like 3 men, like after Martinez tried it and it didn't work. So
yeah,
he needs to play better. I think Mazzarari had a good game.
Another decent game.
Yeah, Delo had a good game up until a point.
Up until the end.
up
the left side.
That's because he's not left back though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not even the first goal, the cross. Like he probably should have closed the attacker down earlier to get the ball. But I get, like, it's something you can't even really fault him, because he's not a left back, bro. Like,
but you see, when you guys say that he's not a left back, but he's a right back, so your positional sense is still the same. You should know, like,
your bearings,
it's the same, but it's flipped, isn't it? So if you're like left brained or right brained, you know what I mean? Those things, it does, what you're saying technically makes sense, but sometimes it practically it just doesn't map on in the same way.
I think that's what makes the levels of the player, because to me 100%. That's basic, because if you're playing right back, okay.
No, but even happens
right.
when
if you're playing left back and
left centre back and right centre back as well. Sometimes it, like, in terms of when you're trying to play out from the back, theoretically it's the same thing, but your brain just can't map it on.
No, it's different playing now, because you need to bring the ball onto your right foot feet, so your angles or your passing angles are different.
Yeah.
But from a defending point of view, you always know to look to your left shoulder if you're playing left back. You look to your right shoulder if you're looking right back.
Yeah, and if you're used to constantly looking over your left shoulder, and then when you're in that position, now you have to look over your right shoulder. Again, it is basic, but I've seen it happen so many times.
Especially when you haven't had a career doing it. This is the first time I've seen him at left back. And to Julius's point, it's similar to, like, when you're a left-sided centre back and you're playing on the right side. Like, I mean, theoretically, it should all be the same, but it's like your basics that you're familiar with. It sometimes it gets out of whack. And that's so to the point of Delo, I don't think he played terribly. Because obviously he had that in the first half where he whipped that ball into Ahmed, who probably should have scored in that first half as well. He didn't play terribly, but I just know he's not a left back in it. We need a left back. We're putting.
But the thing I would say, Marley Myers, obviously he's playing Mazraoui in Dallow's position, right? And then Dallow's playing left back.
Yeah.
So once we get our left back, if we get like a Luke Shaw, Amas, or whoever comes in there, what's the plan with Mazraoui and Dallow then? Is he?
Yeah, I would have thought Dallow starts and Mazraoui would be
it's got to be that, innit?
Yeah, someone rotates
like that.
Yeah. Simmons
Oh.
AWB when he was at the club, I guess.
I thought Mazraoui was supposed to be left sided.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
He can do both.
Yeah,
but obviously coming into a new team, and we've seen Dallow play there, so it probably makes more sense for Dallow to start off there. So at least Mazraoui can settle into the Prem instead of if he goes left back now.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I thought he would have come straight in as left back because I understand he has to get familiar with the team and whatnot, but I mean he's playing with guys. He's played with Martinez. He's played with Nana. He's played with
Anthony.
And I thought they would just be smashing that out in training. And no,
is he a left back though?
No, he's right.
He's a right back, but he played. So against Arsenal, he played left back last season. And against Real Madrid when they beat him, was it 4-1 or something? He was left back. So he's very competent at left back. And I would think more so than Dalot, because I haven't seen Dalot in left back other than for me.
And then obviously after that, after Brighton scored, obviously Ahmad scored. Didn't have a bad game, I thought, but again, I think
his first half he was quiet. His first half sunk still. His first half was a bit stinky. So he definitely got a bit of a rollicking at half time and came out. He probably got a pep talk saying you're playing for more than yourself today, and got his goal for his late was it stepmom?
Yeah, his stepmom. Yeah, that passed away.
Yeah, he done well, man. He done well in the end.
And then
so
obviously
that's a quick question.
I was surprised he played, to be honest. I thought he wasn't going to play.
Same. I did. Yeah, I didn't think it would. I didn't think it would play either. But
welcome by the way, Strauss.
Yeah, man. Cheers, bro, man. What are you saying, my guys?
Yeah, good. Were you recovering from Carnival? Yeah.
No, I didn't go Carnival.
Oh, fair enough. Before you just maybe just overslept from it.
No. There was other things I can't discuss.
Fair.
Drake, quick question on.
Yeah, go on.
De Ligt. What time did he get a sub done?
Yeah, it was quite late on, if I remember correctly.
Was it the same as last week?
78 or something like that, roughly around.
Yeah, something like that.
So basically, did you need to change your centre back, or do you think ETH is just trying to give him minutes so he can eventually
basically fitness?
So obviously, when you come to your second to the goal, do you think that had an impact with the goal that you got conceded?
I don't think so. I think if you look at that left hand side, that's kind of like Dallow's territory. But at the same time, we need to be marshalling that defense better. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when the subs were made, like someone needs to marshal it, and I think like even Martinez needs to marshal that back line. Someone does, because obviously De Ligt gonna try and do it, but he's just trying to get into the game. He's just come on. Yeah. He's trying to get a feel of it.
Doesn't that? Do you think that like created a bit of unnecessary havoc, because you don't normally change your centre back pairing unless it's necessary. It's not a thing of like, I'm changing the game, let me change my centre back. You don't do that.
I agree. Yeah. And the thing is, that's what I was going to say. Not just that, but also Fernandes came off, which I thought was a bit of a weird one. Because Maino was still on. He had a yellow card and he was being scored by Milner, I thought, throughout that game. So I thought it was a bit of a weird substitutions from 10 in my mind, like with his subs. But I think,
when I was watching that second goal, it felt like somewhat sometimes people say you can be overcoached. Like I felt like it was very much less off the cuff defending, more so because they were super compact. Like if you look at it, like they're like a tight four, and all you have to do is as a good coach is if they're that compact, like swing it over the last man on the right side, and that's probably why they had 3 players on like that would. Holding the width, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I just want to see us doing better, bruv. I just want to see us doing better. I think our defending has been too poor recently, man.
How do you not do better though? How, like what? Because I think you said something about De Ligt maybe being a bit more accomplished defensively, but do you think De Ligt starting over Harry Maguire is gonna
I think it will
answers
personally.
your problems.
Yeah,
the let's more on the front foot.
I personally think United started looking good only when Xerxes came on, bro. Because I think you lacked,
I think so as well.
You completely lacked like your game really started after the first 45 minutes. The first half, you guys were just like, it's like you had no focal structure, you had no focal point, and I think
which makes sense.
Yeah, and with every game, like, you can't play a game without a striker. You've got Mount and Bruno Fernandes both playing, and Marley Mar, you've said and attested many, many times on this pod before that they both play a similar kind of game. Like, irrespective of whether Fernandes is playing up top or however you deploy your team, like you need a focal point. And soon as Xerxes came on, it became a completely different game. And then you started to see what looked like some sort of playing style.
Yeah. I mean, at the top of the conversation, I did say the Bruno Fernandes experiment of the false nine. We need to scrap that now because it does. To repeat myself, it does. It works when a team's not expecting it, but doing it back to back, like it's just not.
And he's not even clinical up there, so he's fully wasted there. He's fully wasted there.
I thought it was just to buy time for your Xerxes to kind of like just get embedded in.
That to me, that was very stupid because Xerxes he's available. If he's on your bench, my whole thing is if he's available to be on your bench. I remember we had an argument about this before. Like he should be available. He should be capable of starting as well. That's what I think. But I think like what Del Estrada said, definitely changing your centre backs is suicide. You can't change your centre backs in the game, and I think somebody of Erik ten Hag's ilk that's schoolboy.
Especially when you lot had so many defensive pairs last season as well.
Yeah,
you should be trying to get everybody as many minutes as used to each other as possible, man. But
I think from his standpoint, he's probably noticing that we've been in that situation before and crumble. So I saw a stat that said between what was it like 1998, let's just say 1994, for instance, to 2002, United had conceded like 2 goals in the late 90th minute, and under Erik ten Hag, which is obviously like 2022 to now, we've conceded 6. So it's like he knows that it's something that we struggle with. So maybe he's just thinking, all right, I need to change something, put someone more assured on who De Ligt I would have thought is more assured, and we can prevent something that's been happening to him under his tenure. But it didn't work. It didn't work, man.
I think he's just trying to do forward planning because he knows De Ligt is going to be his first choice centre back. So he's just trying to give him minutes, but it's just risky, isn't it? Because that could potentially happen.
But I was going to say before I wrap this game up, Malimar, that overall, like I think I wrote it in the group, I just felt like we were a bit slow and lethargic, man, like with our build up sometimes. Like when we were going like more direct, we were having so much joy, but we just wasn't doing that enough with Brighton. So they had enough time to recoup. Like the amount of times we pass it side to side and back, I think I lost count. And
credit to Brighton though as well, because their defensive structure was they got back in numbers.
No, but it was even at points, Joey, when we could go forward, but we dilly and dally on a ball, and then we just decide to go back to keep it safe, to keep the ball. So it's like almost like we're taking our time as if we're ahead. That's the way I see it. Like
was that in the second half as well?
Yeah. Like
after
we did. I don't think we did it consistently in terms of going direct at Brighton, like and really trying to push them to the limit. I felt like Brighton had enough time at moments in the game to like recoup, get everyone back in position. The times when we hit them on the counter, you could see that obviously they struggled. And I just felt like we didn't have that press. We basically wasn't doing that press enough during the game. Like we were taking it too easy.
Yeah, they definitely had spells in the game, but I think across the 90 minutes, like I've seen someone say that we got played off the park. We definitely didn't get played off the park. I think that's just one of them games. It's like it's mad unfortunate, and it's more so unfortunate for Ten Hag because now he's got a whole week of the press is going to be on his Clark. You're going to hear Mr. Jordan, hold out yourself. He's going to be on Ten Hag again for the whole week up until when we play Liverpool Sunday. Up until Sunday.
It's the second.
I didn't realize that was the next game. Yeah. That's a massive game, bro.
Yeah, big game. So Yeah, man, and it's his own fault, bro. Like, this is obviously, like, people are screaming that he's gonna get fired by Christmas, and getting an L in your second game of the season, bro. Like, bruv, it's unfortunate, man.
Hasn't that happened in all this season? So I'm sure he's had an L within the first like 3 games.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But right now, he's not far from being, like, people are talking about his sack, like, and they don't.
But they're talking about his sack because of last season. So he's in an unfortunate place. But I think the United board would be smart to ignore that.
No, he's still on track to achieve everything he achieved in the last couple of seasons. Because again, it's not like he gets off to a blistering start. But if you were happy to have him last season, I don't know why you wouldn't be happy to have him this season based off of the start.
And in his defense, to be honest, United have looked better this season.
Yeah,
irrespective of the start.
Yeah, the last game,
what, you disagree, Joey?
No, I don't think they look good in the last game. I don't think they look good
against
at all
Brighton.
In the last game. No, against Fulham. Sorry, you had better spells against Brighton, but against Fulham, I don't think you look good defensively. I don't think you're good.
That was a lucky 3 points against Fulham, to be honest.
And Fulham were garbage going forward. Brighton were a bit more clean.
I think against Fulham, like they had a lot more possession of the ball. You could see a couple of ideas going forward. They looked like they were the most likely team to score, even though Fulham also had chances. I don't know. I think I disagree there.
All right. So, what do you think, Molly Moore, with Liverpool coming up? Predictions, scores.
We're at
who's home away?
Yeah, we're at home.
OT.
Okay.
So, Old Trafford,
I'm gonna go.
That's gonna be a 0-0 or a 1-0 Liverpool.
I'm gonna go Brazen. I think I'm gonna go 3-2 Man United.
That's crazy.
Oof. Crazy.
Why are you looking at me for, bro?
I was gonna ask you, but we're going to Liverpool.
No, I'm talking to Marley still. I don't know where I'm located on this screen, but I know he's looking at you, bro.
But I think what you're saying, you're obviously a bit more confident than Joey.
No, not at all, innit? I was just talking about this yesterday because people were giving their opinion in the chat after the Liverpool game. But United, they can raise it for Liverpool, innit? So I'm not going to put it past them to raise it. Again, it's a new manager. I think the new manager has the luck of I think there's a lower expectation of him in it. So everything that's happening right now, people are just kind of going with the flow. So if we lose that game, I don't think people will be mad. If we win that game, I think people will be very happy. There's more upside than downside. So yeah.
Fair.
Joe, before we move on, can I do my back pages quickly, please? If you guys don't mind. Can I give my back pages to Xerxes for his contribution to Brighton's
this guy is such a fucking idiot, because then do the same for Havertz, bro. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, do the same for Havertz. Havertz didn't even get a shot on target.
What are we talking about here? What's this got to do with Havertz?
Let's hear his headline first before you get.
I'm giving Xerxes my back pages. What's wrong with that? I said for his contribution to Brighton's win.
This is why I call you a hater, bro. This is
so what's that got to do with Havertz?
You got a bit of Marley Bar.
You accelerated.
You got a bit of Marley Bar.
Exactly. So what's this got to do with Havertz?
In my obviously I've got nothing to do with your bet, but Xerxes played a part in that game. He made part of that game. Whether it be negative or positive, that's up to the viewers and the listeners to describe. But in my opinion, he completely changed the trajectory of Manchester United's performance. Havertz is good, always a good player. But against Aston Villa, bro, he was anonymous in my.
Then you can put him on your back pages if you want. I gave Xerxes my back page for his contribution to Brighton's win.
Why is Xerxes getting your back pages?
Because if he wasn't in the way, then Garnacho's goal would have went in. So he played a clear contribution to Brighton's win.
Why is the back pages being accelerated?
I don't know why he's doing that.
You can't say you're not a hater, bro.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Because we're back to the segment, and it may be forgotten.
No, fair enough. Yeah, nah. With regard to that, I think it's just unlucky, man. But like I think Shrive said it before, and even Joey, when Xerxes came on, we looked like a better outfit anyway. I think he provided more of an outlet on the pitch.
Sorry, obviously, I think I might have missed the conversation you guys had on it. But did Xerxes move to block Garnacho shot.
No, he was unlucky, man. He was just unlucky.
He basically slid in from the foot, but
yeah,
Bruno Fernandes
yeah.
finessed it over. He tried to slide in. He missed it.
Should Garnacho not be hitting
that's
empty net?
It was Garnacho's shot was going in, but it did look like it was cut. He probably could have aimed it a bit better. But it was unfortunate because it would have went in anyway. If had Xerxes not been there.
Because I think you were worried that Xerxes was going to get abuse, but I thought it was that would have been harsh if you got
not for that, but not for that, man, not for that.
Cool. Moving on to the next game, Villa 2. Villa 0, Arsenal 2. So
I was thinking, what game was that, man?
No, because I got confused because I think I was going to do Arsenal last because I didn't know where you were, Strivs, but now I brought it back to where it should have been, which was second place.
No, apologies, man. And apologies to listeners as well because I might have to scoot off soon as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
While getting off, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, so I was going to say Trossard and Partey on target as the Gunners claim their revenge against Villa, and I was going to say maybe the Champions League trophy in the tunnel spurred on your boys to put that nail in the coffin finally.
Yeah, man, I respect these Daily Mail headlines that you create for the podcast, man. But yeah, bro, man, appreciate that, bro. No, so you know what? This fixture against Aston Villa, in my opinion, was a massive game. Massive game. Like, some might say, the biggest game of the season thus far. Obviously, I know we've had Manchester City, that's me, versus Chelsea. But yeah, like you said, man, it was a in terms of the way you built up the game, man, it was a massive one, bro. It was a massive one. Champions League trophy, I don't think much less Champions League relevant, but Premier League relevant.
Yeah.
So definitely, because Unai Emery, obviously we've seen the debates, Unai Emery versus Mikel Arteta, Unai Emery versus Arteta in general. He's had the better of Arteta. So if you're an Arsenal fan, sorry, bro. If you're an Arsenal fan and you've and you weren't nervous about this game, you're probably lying. Definitely lying. And me personally, I think I even said it last week where like, you can't go into this game only in getting Calafiore. So and thinking that you've got something more to beat Villa, especially when, in my opinion, the reason why we didn't beat Villa last season was because we didn't have that striker that can, in those little moments, when we get those chances, that could unpick their lock. So I was very, very nervous. I even avoided doing a prediction. So obviously, the way that we approached the game, in my opinion, I felt like Villa was hitting us on the counter still. I think the main change, which is what I have to credit Mikel Arteta for massively, was the fact that we didn't play Zinchenko at all. Jurriën Timber, I think Jurriën Timber was was almost like a new signing, man. He was able to give us what Zinchenko gives us. Yeah, he was able to give us what Zinchenko gives us, but at the same time, he was a lot more defensively astute. So we saw when Bailey was going up against him, we saw like the duels. Is that the word?
Yeah.
We saw the duels, and we saw like Liam Bailey almost become like redundant in that matchup, and it actually helped us massively, despite Villa getting some good chances. Yeah, big up David Raya. Yeah, big up David Raya, man. Because Villa got some. Well. Yeah, they got a couple of chances, and when they got their chances, they never made those chances count. And in games like that, those are the difference in it. So, especially when you're playing Arsenal, because we don't tend to concede. So, if there are going to be some defensive gaffes, and we've had them this season already, we've had a couple of little defensive gaffes, and teams haven't made it count. We're still as an Arsenal fan, we're still trying to get to that point where we are just moving as a well-oiled machine, because we've got players coming back from different tournaments, whether it be Copa America, the Euros, etc. And slowly but surely, even though it looks like on paper we're playing our strongest team, we're still getting our boys like up back to optimum fitness. And I think, in my opinion, this is the time to get us. And you're seeing it in somewhere like our defensive frailties, but you wouldn't see that if you're just looking at the result only, which is good for me as a fan. But obviously, when you're watching it, you are seeing that David Raya is having to call on his powers a lot more. Whereas before last season, you might hear a lot of fans saying David Raya already got the golden glove because of the defensive line before him. But in fact, that defensive back line has actually been kind of compromised somewhat, and David Raya is coming forward and getting us in my opinion, winning us points, bruv. Winning us 2 points. I think David Raya's saves was the difference between drawing that game and winning that game. I
think the last 2 games he's proved why he is number 1 and Ramsdale isn't, right?
1,000,000%, man. And it's a shame because Ramsdale made some great saves like that as well. Like in not the last season, but the season before. He made great saves like that as well. But it's just his concentration in certain points let him down. What we're finding with Raya's got the kick in, he's got the forward play, and then when it comes to saving the game, Raya's also doing that for us. So big you up, David Raya. But yeah, back to the key change. I think that left back change, man, was brilliant for Arsenal, man. It was really brilliant. Timber was assured. He's still inverted into the middle. He still gave us what Zini gives us going forward, but defensively, you just felt a little bit more assured. And obviously, I've had many conversation on this pod about us requiring a striker, but in fact, we didn't get a striker. And although we never used Calafiore, Timber feeling like a new signing, just reinforcing that left side, did give me a little bit of hope that, you know what? Maybe Arteta's got this. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe, just maybe, we might be a little bit stronger with that. Just reinforcing the left side. I don't think so. I think we need that, but just maybe, like it went some way. It went some way towards that, innit? So outside of that, I think for 65 minutes, it didn't really look like we were going to score, in my opinion. To go back to my side of the argument, Havertz didn't get a shot on target. He didn't get a shot at all. Did he? I don't know. I doubt he did. So it's like we're now having to rely on Bukayo Saka. He did that thing where he cuts onto his, he cuts onto his other foot. He tries to find the far corner. Cuts onto his left foot, tries to find the far corner. Martinez was equal to it, saved it. Martinelli, I know he's had a little bit of flack online, on Twitter, etc., etc. But in my personal opinion, I think Martinelli was okay. Yeah. Nah, you know what?
nah, bro.
Nah, I think it was okay. You know what? Because you know what, Joey? Yeah, funny enough, you said this, and I was arguing with you last season when you was like, has Martinelli, because of his breakout season, has he set himself standards that it's not of his usual levels to attain? And you were onto something there, bro. What we know of Martinelli is he gets you 6 goals, gets you 5 goals. He's a threat going forward. He gets defenders a little bit scared. Now what we're seeing is he's breaking forward, and unless he's got a goal only to look at, sometimes when he's got his winger to go at, he's like he's testing him, then he's turning around and passing back. And obviously, I've played fullback, like when I've had to fill in. Obviously, that's not my natural position. And if a player is going to come at me, pause, and then turn back and pass, I'm glad. I'm glad for it. You get what I mean? Martinelli doing that, I feel like he's letting players off. And I think that's a confidence issue, like I've mentioned in other episodes. I think when his confidence is up, we're going to see the right Martinelli. But I think in that game, like, I think he was okay. Like, his decision making in the final third was nothing more or nothing less than what he usually gives us. You get what I mean? So at this present point, if you've got an issue with Martinelli, you don't. You have an issue with Arteta, because this what we're seeing has been there. Do you get what I mean? And if you haven't done anything to address that, talk to our gaffer. Martinelli's doing his thing, in my opinion. I think Martinelli might get about 9 goals. He might get about 5 assists around that mark this season. Even in his breakout season, he still had games like this where he looked a little bit iffy and then Bobby just became clinical. I think Martinelli was okay. But obviously, when you compare it to big man Truss, Truss, he's clinical, bruv. He's a finisher. What it was just as an Arsenal fan, we're doing all the pretty play, building up from the back, midfield, up top. Where's our goal scorer? When Trossard came on, you saw somebody that was willing to take shots. You saw somebody that's really like even sometimes, this guy's taking a shot and you're like, bro, why did you shoot from there? But after he's taken a shot, you're like, actually, cool, bro. Because it's like Odegaard, for instance. Joey and one of our previous guests, John Boy, it took a lot of umbrage at the way this guy doesn't want to shoot sometimes, takes too many touches. I don't think it takes too many touches, but there was times when Odegaard, you're like, bro, like, how many times do you want to do tippy? Bro, rusty that shot, man. Get us a goal, bro.
That's
true.
What
I mean? Saka even, like, Saka had a brilliant opportunity. I don't know why he didn't take it first time. You know the opportunity I'm talking about if you're not watching the game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it was offside there.
Yeah, but still, like, take it to VAR. Take it to VAR and score the goal and give VAR a decision to make. You know what I mean? So I think those were the frailties that I saw in the game in terms of our finishing and our attitude to finishing the game. Like sometimes we're still a little bit tippy-tappy, but outside of that, man, professional performance, really good goal from Trossard when he got on. Thomas Partey, it was a good finish. I think Thomas Partey also played well again online before he got the goal. People were gonna, like with Del Estrada said it before, the shiny toy syndrome. Now that Marino's on his way in, we're looking to just any time Partey's got a play in the game, we're looking to criticize everything he's doing. But I think Partey was competent. I think he had a really good game. I think he was a little bit way more sure than he was in the previous game. I feel like he's coming to his fitness. And to get that goal as well, I think we're going to get a good season out of Partey, provided he stays injury-free. But yeah, man, that's me rambling on over. Like,
anything on his head-to-head with Morgan Rogers?
Morgan Rogers was a freaking pest.
I think Partey only suffered because he was the only one who cared, bro. Because Morgan Rogers was going through
it. He was going with everyone, and Partey was trying to do something about it, but Morgan Rogers was a pest, bro.
That guy's 22 years old, Jesus.
Yeah, like after the game, I'm in a group here with some fellow Arsenal fans in it. You'll notice Del Estrada's not in that group, yeah. But I was in a group with some fellow Arsenal fans. And bro, I said, Mikel and Albert, his assistant manager. I don't know if Carlos Quest is still there. I know his contract expired. They're gonna have words with the midfield, bro. What was his name? Morgan Rogers, or whatever his name is. Yeah, he what he did was nasty work, man. It was nasty work, but he's a good player, man. You're gonna see a lot of that, and you're gonna see Villa take points off a lot of the big teams, but obviously he's not equal to the best defensive outfit in the Premier League, which is Arsenal.
Because I think you put in the group, I think, is it before the game started, was Jesus was out, right? And
so nothing new for me.
So you were kind of just reiterating what you were saying before, as in
with Jesus, bro, it's like I thought he was going to make it to November. When I saw that this guy didn't make it to game week 2, I just said, "Oh right." Like I said, bro, you see, wonders will never cease to amaze me. You get me? I'm like, bloody hell, bro, you didn't even make it to game week 2. That's crazy. But like I said to you guys, we need a striker in it. So with Eddie and Nketiah saga.
Because what is the update with Eddie? Because is it rumored that Crystal Palace might even be in from now?
Eddie's a bit of a jerk. Sorry, Eddie. Like, I don't mean to make this personal, but he's a little bit of a jerk in the sense that, like, for some reason, I think his valuation figure is very reasonable in it. I believe in Arsenal for sticking to the valuation figure, but it's been difficult to retain that figure. For some reason, clubs don't want to pay the figure that we've set for him. We're getting clubs to pay this figure, and it's breaking down on the player side. So this has obviously got to do with Eddie's not happy with the wages, exactly. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him because he's a 24, 25-year-old man on 100K a week. give me 100k a week, even at my age, bro. Bro, it'll be very difficult to get me to accept less. So I understand on that side, but I also think something has to. There's credence that can be lent towards a player that has ambition for themselves on the football pitch, and you're not playing, Eddie. Go to another club and play, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go to another club and play. You stop getting your 100k a week to train. Go to another club and play. And it's just breaking down there. So I think that's what the issue is. It keeps on breaking down on the player side. So I think Nottingham Forest are looking at Jimenez again, and Crystal Palace is in for it.
Yeah.
But can I ask a question?
His problem is that he's too loyal to Arsenal and he doesn't want to leave.
I don't think it's got anything to do.
But question on that, yeah. Why is it? It's like maybe it's only in football that you have to fail upwards. Like if you're leaving, like Mars will probably talk about when he some players are the equivalent of United, they're signing for say Google, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're now leaving Google, you're going to like some a lower company. Your wages are not going to be the same. So why do players think that because I'm on 100k here, you must give me 100k to as when I go to another club? You're going to a different profile of a team. It's unlikely you're going to be getting 100k. Get something that's reasonable and move on.
But my question to you, Della, is using your analogy, why would you even move to a lower company? You're at Google unless they fired you.
But you're not playing. You know, as you said, do you just want to be taking 100k to be just what? Just on the bench.
I think you.
And you're Sergio. He's not gonna get like what a 5k a week. He's still gonna be getting good
money. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you, but I just on the human aspect of it, all of us on this pod, we're not gonna move to another job to get a lower wage with lower wages in it. You know what I mean? We might think, oh, geez, man, we're so redundant at work that now we're working remotely, and now we have to we're not really doing much at work, but we're scared that we're scared that we might get let off because we're not doing so much. But even if we think, you know what, I want another job, I want another challenge, I doubt we're gonna go and get something lower.
No, but that's different. Work is different. Like you only leave your employer to go upwards. Yeah, you're not wanted.
Yeah,
it's the equivalent of being sacked. You're no longer wanted.
I think
and the people that come in for you is smaller. So, bro, you can't get 100k. You have to get less.
The other projects have to show me something that is gonna, like, if I'm not gonna be compensated by money, then there has to be value in me coming here. So there has to be like an ambition. There has to be a project or a plan that's gonna satisfy the fact that I'm making maybe 25k less than I was making in my previous role.
The only plan that not enough Forest can say to you that you're gonna get game time. Yeah, you know, and we hope to stay up. Like we can't sell you any other dreams.
So that's a straight breakdown in negotiations, then, isn't it?
Why
for him? Because I don't want to be in that situation.
But bro, I could then stay at your club and stay on the bench.
That's what he's doing, isn't it?
I know, that's what I'm saying. But
he's not even getting on the pitch now. He's not even getting.
I know. But Gabriel Jesus is never fit. It's never fit. So the likelihood is that he will get game time. Because you're like, do you know what I mean?
But we know there's game time and there's game time for, like, if he really wants to kick on, we know Arsenal's not the club for him. He can stay and get 100k, go ahead. Like,
or you can go Nottingham Forest and maybe be playing in Championship next season. It's a massive toss-up, man.
And to be fair to Eddie as well, because I had this conversation with John Boy, again, I guess that's featured on the pod, but outside of the podcast, I had a conversation like, it's kind of, where Arsenal's concerned, the risk element can be reduced in the sense that if Ed doesn't go, he's going like you said, Joey, he's going to play. He's going to play. But like Della's saying, we've seen you get minutes and it's not happened at Arsenal for whatever reason. Like I'm going as far as saying it's not an indictment on you as a player, Eddie. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not happening. Just go and apply your trade elsewhere because it's not happening at Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal's not suited for him, man.
Jesus is going to get injured, all that stuff. You're going to get minutes. But you can't keep churning out 4 to 5 goals a season, bro. It's not good enough.
But I was going to say, somewhere. With in regards to that one, is that Jesus is injured. You've got Nketiah, and he's still not getting it. He still didn't get in that team.
Because we're still looking after his interest in the sense that you could get an injury and now you're going to fail the medical. So until do you get what I mean? So until like that's dead and buried, you're not going to see Eddie. Like once the transfer window is over, Eddie will start playing. If he's still at Arsenal, that is.
But the thing is, would you prefer him to be sold now and then be left with no one, or just keep him until the summer and then sell him and then bring someone in?
That's a very good question. Okay, I would, if we're talking in terms of striver, I'd prefer for him to be sold. And the reason why I prefer for him to be sold is then it highlights even further the need we have for a striker. Have to get a striker in because Jesus is going to be injured again at some point in the season. And we're only going to have Havertz and then Trossard. You know what I mean? And
so you're going to sell him even though it's going to make you much lighter in that department now.
Because we're light anyway.
Yeah.
Remember I predicted us to be third. So I predicted us to be third because I saw that as an empty spot, irrespective of Nketiah filling it. You get what I mean? So if we sell him, it just highlights the need to actually fill that spot further. So yeah, I would prefer that we sell him, get the money in the bank, and it now becomes an onus that we need to get a striker to raise the floor and ceiling. So yeah, I would prefer to sell him.
Fair. So Arsenal doing their thing, obviously winning. You guys have Brighton next at home. Should be
it's going to be a tricky
comfortable.
game. No, not comfortable. You man just played them, so you know it's not comfortable. And they're one of our bogey teams. So yeah, it's just it's always going to be nervy, bro. Brighton, Spurs, City, those are the next games, isn't it? Like every single game, bro. I'm nervous, bro. I'm nervous. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think our first 11, first 12 can be any team in the league. It's just if they're not on form, if we need to rely on the squad, what happens then? If their tactics are equal to us for half an hour, 45 minutes or 60 minutes, what have we got coupled off the bench? What if the Trossard card doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if Trossard started and now Martinelli? What if that doesn't work? What have we got? Marino, Calafiore, okay? Let's see.
Cool.
But yeah.
Arsenal just continuing in the same way as they always do. But obviously moving on next to Liverpool. It was Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. Diaz and Salah give Slot win in his first Premier League home game of the season. Joey, I've said it before, it's always a game of two halves with Liverpool, but they seem to get it done, get it over the line. What could you take from his first home game of the season?
Yeah, it was a good performance. Actually, in this first half, we played quite decent, but after we got the first goal, that's when Brentford started turning the screw. But I think it was good to see the shapes we were taking defensively. We were pretty compact, and it's good to see the tactics that he's applying. I think last season, what happened, we would always concede the first goal. And throughout the season, Jurgen Klopp never addressed us conceding the first goal. So we started off pretty badly in games, but the likelihood of that happening on the Slot seems to have reduced drastically. And it's just nice to see the positions that Gravenberch is picking up defensively, where Szoboszlai is going forward, and he knows that it's part of his role to get back and be the first cover when Gravenberch isn't there. So you just got like players compensating for other players and all that kind of stuff, man. So that was the best thing I took from yesterday. Other than that, it was fluid football, man. It was nice passing, man. There was sexy football on display a couple of times in the game where the fans were cheering the one-touch play. Unfortunately, it didn't result in goals, man. But it was a great performance to see, man.
I was gonna say, is there an issue between Trent and Slot? Because obviously Trent got pulled off.
Yeah, those images looks crazy, innit? He's going to Real Madrid.
I don't think so. Even if he is going to Real Madrid, I think firstly, I don't know what the deal is if Liverpool haven't offered him the right contract or if he's stalling on the contract. But I think I always want to see players angry when they get subbed off. Like, do you know what I mean? Even when that Jurgen Klopp and Mo Salah had that little clash at the end of last season. And then
did you agree with the subbing though?
And then he came off, like the newspapers and media made a big deal of it, but right back to business. Next game, Salah's still here. Did I agree with the subbing? Yeah, I like. Why do you need to play the full 90 minutes, bro? You know what I mean? Like, we've got a young player that's ready to go and deputize in your position. Also, the club don't know whether you're going to sign a contract or not. Like, we got to start.
I'm where you are. Where you are, but I just wondered what a Liverpool fan would have thought, because I just thought, like this because I'm on the other side.
No, I think that hit when that clip hit the press yesterday. Some of the Liverpool fans in my group were rattled, but you know, I'm always expecting of the worst first, so I'm ready for it when it happens. To be fair, but yeah, no.
So what time did he get subbed off?
Maybe about I'd say 80 to 85.
It's not a big deal. What the hell?
No, but you know, Trent, he wants to, like, he felt like there's opportunity for the team to score more goals.
72. It was a bit earlier, but yeah.
Okay, earlier, my bad. I think
it's a team game, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he again, he's the chief creator, so to speak. So
what I say, he just cares about his numbers now.
Yeah, why not, bro? It's like when Salah used to stay on for full 90 minutes because he used to get the opportunity to stat pad when the game was done as well. Same for.
I hear that, but like, you know, unless you, that's the saying. That's why some people have issues with Trent, where they say he cares less about like.
No.
But I'm not saying that. That's if you're only saying you're only caring about your numbers, bro. Your team's winning. It's 2-0. Your manager making a sub under the 78th minute. It's not a big deal, bro.
I'm saying
okay. I care. Okay, you care about your numbers. That's why people come at you and say, "Well, maybe focus on defending." I'm not saying that's an issue, but
I'm saying numbers because I'm just assuming. But the likelihood is that he's just a footballer who wants to play as much football as possible. The same for Salah. The same for anyone who gets subbed off and is angry. Like I'm not mad at it. I think that's a good reaction. And I think it's a good reaction from both the manager and the manager for being able to take off Trent, because you saw what happened when Southgate tried to take off Bellingham. And I think it's a good reaction from Trent for wanting to be on the pitch.
Yeah.
For me, it's a double positive. But yeah.
And also like 2 clean sheets, I was going to say.
Yeah, 2 clean sheets. I wouldn't expect anything less from those 2 games against that opposition, to be completely honest. It was a great performance from Konate. He just cleaned up everything. Game. And then obviously Virgil, that left Virgil with not much to do, in my opinion. So he was able to just kind of control everything from the back. Also, I think it's a Premier League record for completed pass rate. I think it was 92%. And I think the previous record was 84% against Sheffield last season with Liverpool as well, man. So I don't know, people would seem to take that as like a slot ball thing, like starting to reap its rewards. Because I think certain guys in here were saying that when you're bored and you're Dutch, like you'll see the same thing of your football not translated on the pitch.
Yeah, it's mad.
Miles, at what point, right now, do you rate Salah or not?
Look, I mean, all I've seen him do is winning it. So at the minute, he's all right, but I still don't know enough about him.
No, in the performance, though, like, do you see anything or like?
It's an identity. So no, what Carragher said is probably most accurate. He said that it's we won't see the style of play that we've seen with Klopp. Is definitely going to be more methodical in like how Pep plays. And that's boring, bro. So I mean, there's definitely a style of play.
Wait. Why are you talking about whether it's boring? No, that's not what the question is.
Because,
all, bro. What's going on here, bro? Why are you trying to throw it in for no reason?
I'm saying as much as Pep has a style of play, they've got a style of play, but it's boring, bro.
Would you not want that style of play at United?
Nah, bro. I want more Klopp, bro. If you can give me some Klopp, bro. Klopp football is the football I like, bro.
Would you rather that over ETH style?
Yeah, to be fair, I think ETH is
not. I think that is a mega counter attack. I think.
Yeah. So I was going to say is he's got elements of what Klopp's tried to do, but he just hasn't incorporated it in his team yet. He's very gong ho in his attacking style. But yeah, it just hasn't computed on the pitch at the minute. But enough about Ten Hag.
Yeah, I think the frustrating thing for me is when Liverpool kind of reverted back to type. So obviously we were trying to play the ball out from the back, and I understand that when you go long, when you know you're pressed way too heavily, and you don't want to make a mistake, so you just get rid of it. If in doubt, get it out. But there were times where we were kind of like absorbing pressure from Brentford. There will be like a corner or something, and then there's a bit of play on the edge of our box. And then I think Diaz and Salah would just be making those direct runs. And then we'd try to do the direct pass. And if I'm reading it right, from what I heard Curtis Jones saying in his presser at that time, and I saw some of the reactions of Arne Slot when these passes didn't make it, and he was kind of pissed off. So it looks like it's going to take a lot more training and practice on the training ground to lock down just the composure and just the recycling of possession, because it's ingrained in our DNA to make those direct passes, and like the Alisson ball over to the top to Salah, where he scored that goal against Man United, and he's done it against Man City.
Yeah,
like that's just the way he's on in it. So, and Trent's capable of that. We've got passers who are capable of doing that. But in terms of trying to control possession and have higher pass completion rates, you can't really do that. So you can see how he's frustrated, man. But I think in time that will be grown out. Players will move on, and he'll get players in that don't do that as well. So,
on the subject of players, Joe, and you mentioned Curtis Jones, has he been getting game time?
No, he hasn't been getting any game time. I'm happy with that as well. Like, obviously, I like Curtis Jones, and I want to see what he can do. But I think what should happen is, as a manager, you start with what you think is the best team. And then as soon as players start dropping off or players get injured, then you bring other guys in to fill in those positions. And if they're performing, then it's up to the other guys who lost their spaces to try and find the opportunity to get back into the team. So even Harvey Elliott, who had a blinder of a pre-season, but I'm thinking, who's Harvey Elliott going to replace? He can't play six. He can't do what McAllister does, in my opinion. The only other person, Szoboszlai, and Szoboszlai's been on. He played great against Ipswich, and he played great yesterday as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, in terms of Liverpool, you guys seem to have like a good balance in the team, if that makes sense. And you've got like Diaz and Salah, who, I don't know, they just seem to just play well together. They've got that connection in your team, and they're like a real threat when they play.
Well, I think, again, in Klopp's period and now in Slot's time, he's lucky to be blessed with two great wide attackers. But I think the most important thing is the guy at the head of the spearhead, the guy at the front of the spearhead, who is knitting those two together. We were lucky to have Firmino, who was elite at doing that. Jota is more of a person who likes to get on the end of the pass rather than threading that pass through. But yes, you saw in his assist for Diaz that he's willing to do that as well. And the way he can pin centre backs, he was pinning, can't remember who was it Collins? Like, him and Collins were having battles. Like, he played, he made it happen essentially, and like he had a great game. And special shout out to Gravenberch as well, man. He was just calm on the ball.
Yeah,
man.
he was
couple
tidy.
Misplaced passes and all that, but yeah, he was neat, man.
Yeah, because I think like Endo came on in the end, but I think it's going to be hard for Endo to get back ahead of Gravenberch. You know what I mean?
Rightfully so, man. Like, again, Endo's profile is not really an on-slot player, but we're going to need him this season. And I know that he can do the job. Can he do it to the level on-slot wants is question. But as soon as Gravenberch decides that he doesn't want to play anymore, Endo needs to be ready to pick up that position, man.
As a squad, you guys really, like, you do have squad depth. I think the only place you don't have squad depth is probably in your back line.
No, so I thought we don't, because a lot of players have gone out. A lot of the younger guys have gone out permanently and on loan. I think Bajcetic is about to go as well. So if Gravenberch is injured and then Endo is unavailable, then we're going to have to start repurposing like a McAllister for a six.
But at least you've got two players for that position there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I guess so, because I'm thinking we don't have a spare left back. I think Joe Gomez is looking.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just your back line, like front wise. Obviously, you've got.
We don't have a. I mean, Harvey Elliott
can do it, but I'm saying, like,
not an adept replacement for Salah.
It's not, but you've got, no one can replace Salah in that team. But at least you've got someone that can come and do a job. Yeah, in every position, in your attacking line and your midfield, you've got at least two players for each position.
Yeah, to be fair,
like
Gakpo
Arsenal,
can play anywhere on the front. Yeah. I don't know if Nunes can play on the right, but he can definitely play on the left and up front as well. To the same standard, definitely not. But bro, that guy came on, bro. It was offside in his first second, bro. Like
Nunes.
Yeah, like Trossard comes on and scores with his first touch. Nunes is offside with his first opportunity. It's like, it was so childish, man. He just sprayed the ball out to Harvey Elliott. And then he just started making a run, bro. Didn't check any shoulder, didn't look, no context of anything that's going on the pitch, bro. Just ran straight offside, man. And it's just, yeah, bro, you don't have a future here, bro, if you're going to keep on doing that shit.
So obviously, we touched on it before, obviously Liverpool, United next, but probably going into it on a bit of a higher compared to United.
Yeah, so I think we got to play the game and not the occasion when we go to Old Trafford. I think United will be hoping that it's more of an occasion than what it actually is, because I think we saw in the FA Cup, you guys really fed off of that energy as well. So we don't want to make the same mistake. If we approach it in a calm manner that we have been approaching the last few fixtures, I think we should be able to get 3 points here. But this is football, man. Like, I don't know, maybe Arne Slot could go to Old Trafford. It just depends on how Old Trafford is, really, because he could get rattled by Old Trafford. And I don't think it's likely, because I'm hearing that you lot are having like rotten chicken and mold all in your stadiums and shit like that, bro. So I don't know. I think I heard your food rating got reduced from a 5-star to a 4-star. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to maintain a good atmosphere at Old Trafford.
Yeah. But those games always, like you said, it's always about the atmosphere. But
yeah,
I think Liverpool, from what I've seen, obviously I still see parts of Klopp when you guys play, but I can see he's trying to put his mold on print on the team as well. So I think it's going to be an interesting game in terms of I'm worried, like as a United fan, I'm worried about that game now.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in your first 2 games. But at the same time, I think it's just like players that just know how to play football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you need a bit of a footballing brain. Whereas I feel like Man United at time, we there's no like
synergy. I feel like there's synergy. I'm not sure how, but there feels like synergy at Liverpool, but it doesn't feel the same at Man United. But again, like I think this is going to be a good test. I'm hoping it is a good test. Like I don't want Man United to kind of like lie down, and I don't want Liverpool to come and not give a good representation of themselves. I want it to be a good game so that we can learn something about Arne Slot. I personally think that's more important than the 3 points, because we're going to lose games this season, man. I think a lot of Liverpool fans are getting carried away, but I think you have to remind them, you have to remind Arsenal, and you have to remind we probably don't have to remind Man City because they win leagues, but you have to remind Arsenal and Liverpool that you're going to lose games and you have to be able to react and respond in the correct manner.
Fair enough. Those were our main 3 games, but just to touch on before we move to the back pages segment, obviously Man City played on the weekend. They beat Ipswich 4-1, even though Ipswich went ahead after 7 minutes. And then, the Haaland hat-trick. What can we say, man? Was it just Man City just like waking up after an early scare to show them how it's done?
I think that was always going to happen, whether they scored first, their first goal or the last goal. Man City was always going to give them a whipping. And Haaland's doing what he does. And I think KDB is just slowly just cooking. He's just getting his assists and his numbers up already.
Where some people said that KDB is going to slow down this season, bro.
Who said that?
Dre.
No, but I think he may, because I don't think he.
Nah, but I think I don't like KDB is KDB. I think he always be cool, but I think what we said was in the big games he can go missing, and I think that was the worry.
Done that, though, to be fair, he's always done that, and then
as in big games and like finals, or just because he does get involved in big games.
Of course, I'm saying
that's not an issue for Ipswich. People have Ipswich getting relegated this season.
That's silly. Very silly.
Yeah, I mean, to be expected. Haaland hat-trick, bro. I know there's probably a few people that triple captained him as well.
But they did, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know what? The worrying thing to take from that game is Savinho. Was that Savinho? Isn't it?
Yeah,
it looks good. He looked good from the last game as well.
Yeah, man. And I thought, you know what? It's just the first game.
Tricky customer.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, you rate him or you don't rate him?
No, I'm scared.
Oh.
I'm scared, innit? Like, because obviously I see, like, when I saw Doku, I wasn't really scared. But this guy, he kind of looks a bit like more like Mahrez, bro.
Mahrez.
Yeah, and I didn't need them to get an extra piece, and then Gundogan comes from.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's going on?
I think that might be
shrewd business.
Yeah, shrewd business. Because you know, like when he left, I was happy, man. I was so happy.
He's been foaming at the mouth to play with Haaland, bro.
Yeah.
Did he play with Haaland?
He played with Haaland. Yeah,
when his first season.
Oh, when they won the treble, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This is Haaland's third season, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, because it's fucking Nunes' third season too. That's how I measure it.
I think there was even a photo. I think it was Gundo. I think he was passing Jack Grealish or something, and even like Jack was baffled that he was back because someone wrote like, "Does that mean I'm going to get no game time at all now?" Like in terms of, is he going to struggle? What's going on with Jack, man? Is he?
And when he injured?
No, I think he played preseason though. He played.
I think he got injured before the first game of the season.
Oh,
so maybe he's coming back.
Yeah, but is he going to play?
I think he will.
I think he'll get game time. He won't get as much as he wants, and I think
because he came on in the 70th, didn't he? Like for 20 minutes.
Right.
So
and them like they've got like 2 players for each position in their forward line. Okay, apart from striker.
They've been into one Icelandic kid today apparently.
Who City?
Yeah. I don't know who. I've never heard of him, but yeah,
he's supposed to be a wonder kid or anything.
They say he's Haaland replacement or someone that stands in for Haaland. I don't know what
that never works out well.
Yeah, it
never works out well.
I heard they were in for some Celtic striker.
Yeah, Kyogo.
Oh yeah. The Japanese one.
He banged them up in preseason, innit? So.
Yeah.
And he's not a striker, is he? I think is he?
Oh, I don't know then. Maybe it's a forward.
He's a forward.
Yeah,
he's definitely a forward. What about the Chelsea game?
Yeah, the Chelsea game, that was just crazy overall, wasn't it?
I think the scoreline was flattering to Chelsea, you know.
100%.
Yeah,
I didn't see the game.
Yeah, I just watched match today. The first half was pretty tight, but Chelsea, it was very much end to end, and then like Wolves just imploded.
Yeah, I watched the first 16 minutes, so then I switched to the West Ham Palace game. But yeah, exactly what you said.
It's crazy because Madueke scored 3 goals in the same part of the pitch.
And I suppose like 5 minutes apart or something.
Yeah, so I was like, what's going on here, bruv? Like,
and he's left-footed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored with both, I think.
I think he scored more goals with his right foot.
I think they're all right-footed. All right-footed.
All assisted by Palmer as well.
Yeah, Palmer was nasty in that game as well, man. Yeah, very, very nasty
too much.
There. I understand why Man City had to get rid of him, though. Or, well, not had to, but he had to leave Man City, man, because there's just no... like, he wouldn't be getting as much game time.
Yeah,
and he needs game time at this stage, man.
Absolutely.
So, when you talk about Nketiah, I kind of get what you're saying in terms of needing game time for development, but...
Of course.
At what cost?
Already a millionaire.
Yeah, some players back themselves as well. They know that they're better than being like on the bench consistently,
like a backup dancer.
Yeah. So they back themselves to go to another club. So credit to him. You can also see that like the arrogance in a good way. You can see the arrogance in his play, which some players need.
And Cole Palmer is like well-deserved PFA Young Player of the Year, isn't he? Really, because he's just showing us.
Deserved it. I don't think it's just criminal that for the amount of seasons Saka has had, he's never been given that award.
That's crazy still.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
But what do we think going forward with Chelsea?
I think they'll be all right, you know.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of what we've already seen. They'll be sometimes really good, sometimes really shit, as the good twos would say.
Yeah.
And yesterday was probably one of the days where it came together. But other days you're gonna see them catch the L's, bruv.
Well, what I say, obviously it came together because the result was decent. But as Della said, like they weren't particularly good. Yeah. I think they were better in the Man City game, if I'm going to be completely honest. But because they missed loads of cities in that game against Man City, and the goals they conceded weren't good goals, if I'm going to be honest. So I think they'll be all right, man. I think, as you said, when it clicks, it clicks. But I think more times they're going to be playing decent football because I think Maresca knows what he's doing, man. And I think the players that he brought in, like Dewsbury Hall, I think they fill criteria for a system. And I think if you're not playing in the system that he needs, he's going to get rid of you. You're not going to play And we're seeing that with Chilwell. We're seeing that with Sterling. So I think he knows exactly what he's going to do.
I think the Sterling one's more than just like him not fitting in the system.
I think it's personal
more
from
financial.
Yeah.
I think it's personal from his time at Man City, in my opinion.
That's interesting, because I was like, we worked with together. Why are you treating me like
Why
this?
are you dogging me like
But the thing is, there's a rumor, isn't there, that Chelsea want to offer Chilwell and Sterling to Man United for Sancho.
I mean, if that's actually true, then I would assume that Maresca has some kind of plan for Sancho or knows how he's going to utilize him.
Yeah,
because he's got João Felix. Obviously, he's not rating Modric, but he's just having him.
Yeah, it's true.
You've got Pedro that plays there. Neto, so
yeah. He's being forced to have Modric, I think, because of that.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone at the end of the season, to be honest.
Or I think he's been tasked with trying to increase his profile and value as much as possible. He's not doing a good job by what he's saying in the press.
Right? But how can they get it so bad? How do they? Bruv, he's a dud player.
No, Arsenal were nearly there, bro.
Remember, but Arteta almost done the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's the saying. How do you get the scouting so bad that you're going to spend that much on a player?
I mean, it was.
Marley was 100%.
Yeah, it was good in their league, but I just don't trust that league.
Yeah, but that's their league, exactly. That's mad.
Yeah, that makes you wonder about Dario Schöner.
Yeah.
That guy was like the best right back in. He used to play for
left back, right back.
He was good though. He was good though.
I don't know, man.
He was good, but like Modric is like he was just fast.
He's a bummy. Yeah. Modric's bummy, man. I'm not sure what that guy's doing there, but obviously Chelsea have Palace next. That should be pretty straightforward, right?
But on Palace,
I'm gonna get tickets for that.
Like they haven't really kicked on, have they?
They've been unlucky. I think they've been unlucky.
But they played well in the last game, even though they lost against West Ham.
Last game
they played well.
Yeah, they played well.
Yeah, they played well.
They hit the post like loads of times.
They played well against Thingy as well, to be fair, against Brentford. Brentford.
So, and they got bumped in Brentford as well.
There is a free kick.
Yeah,
I think everybody there will be confident that it's going to click. Very, very soon, sooner rather than later.
I've got some Palace players on my fantasy team, and they ain't been doing shit for me, man.
You got Munoz.
No, I've got
Mateta.
Basically, I've got Gay and Anderson, and Henderson, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But I knew either Gay or Henderson were going to leave anyway, so that was fine.
Yeah, Henderson said he wants out.
And then obviously Man City have West Ham away.
That could be the game. Actually, I'll hold it to the end. But yeah. West Ham they look good. They look good still. Man.
Yeah, I need to draft in some of their players.
AWB boy. Whew.
Yeah. He's trying
You're
his thing.
Flying without wings.
He's trying still.
This is the thing. He was doing that for Man United as well.
He was.
He wasn't, man.
But he was.
No, he was. But you can still. It still looks a bit bummy when he's doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't look elite. He doesn't look like top four.
It doesn't look refined at all.
Yeah.
But it's effective, and it led to a goal, isn't it?
It's always been
rarely led to goals at Man United. That's what I think.
But the thing
it just never looks nice. Like he's actually good going forward, but that he plays that he plays like Kofi, bruv. Like
he played that Paulo One-Chop in as a right back. Do you know
Paulo One-Chop?
Everything. I don't know if right back. It's Paulo One-Chop played right back.
No, he reminds me
of
a
striker, wasn't he?
Long strides,
Messy. Play right back.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like Frozone. Where he looks like he's skating when he's running, bro.
It's true, but I think AWB he'll do his thing, man. And the thing is, he was at Palace before, and now he's at like West Ham. I think he's
gone back to his level. I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's right. I think that's his correct level. It's a shame that obviously he didn't push on another aspects of his game, but he is still a great defender. Right. Before we end the segment, let's quickly just go around back pages. Marley Mar, quickly.
I'm gonna go Madueke for sending that disparaging tweet.
That was crazy.
The members of Wolves, and then shutting them all up by banging a hat trick, and then apologizing, but laughing while you're apologizing. Hot at you. I love that.
The apology was just like, you could tell he just wanted to laugh.
He just wanted to crack up, bruv. Like funny kid, bruv. Well done.
Della.
Honorable mention to Smith Rowe for getting his debut go at home, but my back page has to be Morgan. Is it Morgan Rogers? But the way he was dancing around Arsenal and making that midfield just be doing making it look silly. Yeah, Declan Rice falling over, Partey falling over. Yeah. And it does show that there are quality players in the championship. You just need to do your scouting right.
Yeah.
Joey?
Honorable mention to Brighton manager again for taking a big scalp and being up there with Slot, Pep and Arteta in terms of 100% record so far. But mine's actually going to Max Kilman because I think, he had a great game for West Ham. I don't know if anyone saw that through ball, but he was tipped for big things because he's like an England futsal player, and you're starting to see it, man. At Wolves, it was a bit tough, but he did show glimpses, man. But yeah, he was sick. He was sick for West Ham yesterday, so yeah.
Mine's going to go to... It was difficult. Like, I think just Brighton overall. I think there was two, like you said, though, you already mentioned it, Joey, the manager. Also thought Milner scored Maino in that game. And João Pedro. I think he had a good game for them. Scored a good goal at the end. So, yeah, well done, Brighton. Well, I wouldn't say well deserved, but you got to take your chances when they're there, and they did. So, congrats.
Quick one. When that Carlos Baleba guy came on, the Cameroonian guy came on for Brighton, bro. That's when I realized that Maino wouldn't make it in AFCON. You know, you know
he's not aggressive.
You know, but he's strong though, innit? And he's got good, like when he's playing against like
but there's African and
exactly, bro. So you know how like Salah goes to AFCON and his powers are cancelled out, bro.
It will spin him though. It will spin. Like, what I've noticed with Maino is that because he's not quick, he's actually not quick, but he's obviously worked on like his close control a lot.
Yeah, he's very techie.
Very techie. Like so it'll make it work, man.
And he uses his balance well, but when everybody's got balance and strength in AFCON
in AFCON, balance.
Yeah, no, they got balance too. They got balance.
All right. So that's been another episode of Podcast Pundits. Join us same time, same place next week. We out.